What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. This is our match preview for the game tomorrow night at the Hill Dickinson Stadium where Everton face Burnley. This is also a final summary of the 3-2 away win to Newcastle this weekend, Blues. So, listen, I'm going to go straight off by saying the importance of Jared Branthwaite returning at centre-half to this all Everton side. I think, listen, he got the goal. He had pace at the back. He reads the game so well. And more importantly, he improves Mykolenko. I think naturally, Mykolenko's game improves because he knows he's got Jared there as a safety blanket and is a little bit more expressive in his play. So, for me, those two, listen, I want a new left back, don't get me wrong, I do. But I think Mykolenko, I think he shows the quality that he adds as a defensive left back. I thought he had a really good game against Newcastle. Now, I believe Everton should be more expressive in this game. We all saw the lineup at weekend and we all felt the same thing. Right, okay. And I think more so about Dwight McNeil getting integrated back into this side. We looked at it and we thought, right, Moyes, you need a result today. And he got one. Dwight McNeil on that right-hand side, I'll be honest, it does baffle me. I originally thought, can it work? Because he can cut in on that trusty left peg. And let's be honest, he backed up Jake O'Brien and it did work. He pulled down a lovely touch, brought it into Beto, came back to Dwight McNeil. He puts away that shot with that left peg. It were a mistake from Nick Pope, but he was there. And he contributed in the game. And that's what we're looking for. Now, if he does start against Burnley, which if he does, I've got a gut feeling he's going to score against Burnley. I've just got this feeling. But I would like David Moyes to be more expressive in his team selection. And those two are, I don't even have to mention Jordan Pickford. But Mykolenko, Jared Branthwaite, for me, I would drop. And it's hard to say this because I think Jake O'Brien had a good game at right back, but I would like to see Nathan Patterson back in at right back, especially at home against Burnley. I don't think you need that super solid defensive shape at the back. And we need fullbacks attacking, and Mykolenko doesn't attack that much on the left-hand side. For me, I go with Nathan Patterson. Whether Moyes will, I don't know. It wouldn't be surprise me if he keeps the same team. But he could squad rotate as well. So that's what I would do. But you could see Jake O'Brien in there. Now, listen, if he was to take Jake O'Brien out the side, he ain't going to put him in at centre-half and drop Tarky. So it is going to be Tarky and Jared Branthwaite in there. But again, for me, I go with Nathan Patterson. He obviously went with Beto at the weekend. And I think we all can agree. I think that was the Beto of what we rediscovered. I'm not going to say the old, because we didn't get it from the get-go with Beto, but he grew into how he was playing for Everton last season. A lot of good partnership work with Charlie Alcaraz, who really got the best out of Beto. But I think we saw, the type of player that Beto can be. He got his goal. He weren't on his heels. He were on his toes. I think his hold-up play were better. He tried to run the channels, tried to, give options for his midfielders. And he brought a lot of other players into play. And for me, if he was going to start Beto again, I can't grumble with that. As long as he produces the quality that he offered at weekend. He could have had two. Jimmy Gardner, Idrissa Gana Gueye. I'll be honest, I thought Idrissa Gana Gueye and Iliman Ndiaye, the Senegalese lads, and Moyes has said this. I thought they were superb. I thought that was Idrissa's best game this season as a whole. This season, we've been critical of Idrissa. We've said, especially at home, does it really work with us two? And what I mean by that is Jimmy and Adrissa. I'd like to see a little bit more legs in there. And, the development of these players who we've brought in who were young. And I'm going to mention this. We never ever saw the best of Youssef Shamiti. Now, I know he's over in Scotland. It's not Premier League level, but the lad is bagging, he's scoring. And what I mean by that is we have to develop these players in windows of opportunity. We've reached 40 points. It's a massive game for us tomorrow night. We've got to go and win. And it's a chance of putting this hoodoo performances at home to bed. And, we've not won since Nottingham Forest. And that's technically last year now. 3 goals to the good in that game. And Everton need a performance like this. But Burnley are I'm going to say no mugs. They have found, they're not down in tools. They're finding levels at the minute. And they were unfortunate at the weekend. They've had 2 goals chalked off. They were 3-0 down. They had a good result against Chelsea. So, Blues, it's going to be a tough game. And, Moyes has got to, I think he's got to be a bit more expressive at home. I do. I wouldn't, you could see him playing the same team as I've just mentioned, but I would like to see Illy on the right. And I'd like to see Tyreek George on the left. We didn't see Tyreek at weekend, didn't get any minutes. Obviously went with Dwight. We were baffled by it, but again, I guess he produced a good, did Dwight. He backed up Jake O'Brien a lot, and he even used his right foot on 2 occasions. He was forced to use his right foot, and he did it in a defensive manner, getting rid of the ball. So, that shocked me. But you can see Illy on the right. You can see Jimmy Gardner with Adrissa, Keenan Dewsbury Hall, who assisted, the final third goal. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, he's bread and butter in this team. He's a starter, and he can play anywhere in that 3 for me. I would like to see him and Jimmy in there with another, I'd say legs in there. When we saw Merlin Roll at Villa. Charlie Alcaraz has got an injury now. He's out for 4 weeks. Seamus Coleman, we've heard he's got a knock. I don't think that's detriment to Everton, more so for Ireland. With the World Cup plans. Seamus is struggling. I think I can't see him obviously staying on next season. But for me, it is about that Nathan Patterson at right back. I'd like to see Nathan Patterson back in there. I don't think he's done anything. How can I put this? He's not. I don't think he should have been brought out the side. Especially at the games at home. I get it when Jake plays there right back when we're away from home. There's no question marks with David Moyes with this away setup, the way he sets the team up. A lot of Evertonians say, yeah, but we just skirt through it. We just about get through it. We're winning games by margins. That's the Premier League. That is the Premier League. That is what it is. Arsenal won at weekend by margins. United won at home against Crystal Palace by margins. Fulham beat Tottenham by margins. That is the Premier League, the nature of the beast. And it's hard to get these like 2 or 3-0 wins comfortably. We've only seen it a couple of times this season. But we're hoping tomorrow night can be that. But for me, I would go with Tyreek George on the left. And, he's admitted, as Moisey in his presser, he feels that Tieno Barry, his form has dipped. So obviously that's why he's brought Beto in. And you can't grumble with that. Beto probably deserves again to start tomorrow night. And then, you've got Tieno Barry there who's come on at weekend and he scored. And, with that mindset, he can do that again. If Beto starts, I'm going to come on and I'm going to score. So they're going to be both chomping at the bit, and that's what you want at this stage of the season, Blues. And I know, obviously, they're not good enough, blah, blah, blah. There's times where they've let us down. But listen, 6 goals now. 6 goals now. And, Beto is getting a few goals. He scored against Brighton. They're chomping at the bit, Blues, and we need that. So, listen, it's such an important game, this. We have to change. That switch has to be switched. We have to change the mindset. We have to change the form at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's got to start replicating what we're doing away from home. And if it does, we've got every chance of Europe. We know that there's big games coming up at Hill Dickinson. And you look at those games, Man City, Merseyside Derby, Chelsea, Sunderland, Burnley. We've got to get 3 points tomorrow night. And listen, we might turn up at Merseyside Derby. We might get a win. We might get a result. We might get a result against Chelsea. We're more than capable of doing. Man City, when we come to May, I believe in this Everton squad. I do. I still believe in David Moyes. I know he's got that stubbornness. But listen, I'm almost not nervous when I see us away from home, but I am when we're at home. I didn't celebrate the first goal at weekend. Newcastle got back into it. I half celebrated the second goal. Newcastle got back into it, 2-2. I certainly celebrated the third goal. And I definitely celebrated Jordan Pickford's save. So, Blues, I'm going to leave this one there. Huge game. Let's get them 3 points tomorrow night. Then we've got Arsenal away. We're capable. We're going away from home and getting a result against Arsenal. Blues, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that bell to turn on post notifications. Up the toffees. And I'll see you in the next one.